Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. It is the instant match reaction. Liverpool 2, Everton 0 at Anfield this afternoon. Yeah, what's the fucking point? Really, what is the point? Once again, for the, 1,000th time, 10,000th time, whatever, Everton have been robbed at Anfield once again via an absolute shithouse of a referee, an absolute disgrace of a VAR team, and, a blatant show of corruption and bias, and that is all it is. And I don't care if you want to say, oh, you've got a tinfoil hat on, Cam, oh, it's another conspiracy. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a flying fuck. Ashley Young is sent off for two fouls, that was it. And I'm not saying that he wasn't stupid to go in for the second challenge, because he is. He's a fucking idiot to throw himself in on the second challenge, knowing full well how biased and corrupt Craig Pawson is as a referee. However, Tsimikas made 4 challenges in the fucking first half, and Pawson asked for his fucking autograph at half time. Konate on a yellow card. By the way, on a yellow card, puts his foot out when Beto's on the attack, completely clips Beto and puts him on his arse, which is a yellow card in any other game. I can't help but laugh. It's a yellow card in any other game. It's an attack. He's stopping a counter-attack and he's fouled him. And because Craig Pawson and the PGMOL and the Premier League are shit scared of Liverpool and shit scared of Jurgen Klopp, he doesn't give it. I sat here 3 weeks ago, and we spoke about the decision in the Liverpool-Tottenham game, which, by the way, is nowhere near as bad as that decision today to not give Konate a second yellow card. It's nowhere near as bad. The Liverpool decision in the Tottenham game is not even on the same stratosphere as that today. But I sat here and I said, that should have been a goal for Liverpool. But what will happen now is Liverpool will be given every single refereeing decision for the next 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, because the fucking Premier League are petrified of them. Do you know what Liverpool Football Club are? Liverpool Football Club are a petulant child. For years, for my whole fucking life, they've had everything go for them. Everything. And the one time that something doesn't go for them, they cry and they whinge. Oh, we need to get the game replayed. Oh, it's such a disgrace. Back pages of everything, despite the fact that, they've got away with shit like that for fucking 25 years and they've never had a problem. They cry and they whinge like a petulant child, and the Premier League are like a shithouse parent who's too scared to fucking stand up against their kid and say, no, you're not getting everything that you want. Actually, that's not how it works. And the Premier League shit themselves and they say, oh yeah, you have it. Do you want a penalty? You have a penalty. Do you want a sending off? You have a sending off. They're fucking terrified, the Liverpool Football Club. The PGMOL are nothing but a bunch of fucking clowns, every single one of them. I've got no respect for any referee. No respect for any referee whatsoever. Not even an ounce of respect for a referee. Not even an ounce for any of them. Because they are all cheating bastards. And it is so clear to see. It's so fucking clear to see. Do you know what? Everton lost the game today through mistakes of the manager, in my opinion. Yes, Ashley Young is incredibly unlucky to be sent off because it's 2 challenges. And please name me another Merseyside derby where a player's first 2 challenges have resulted in a red card. And you can sit there all you like and say, well, it was different today. But it wasn't different because Tsimikas got away with 4. Konate got away with a blatant sending off on the halfway line. Blatant. So it's not different today. What it is different because they've got a red shirt on. But Ashley Young shouldn't go flying in to a second challenge. Ashley Young shouldn't be on the pitch. He shouldn't be on the pitch. Because ultimately, Nathan Patterson is a better fullback than Ashley Young is. And the first goal, we can see, forget about the second goal. It was on the counter-attack. It was right at the end of the game. It has happened a couple of times in Merseyside derbies in recent years. I don't even think it's worth talking about. The game was over at that point. The first goal, the penalty, once again, is Michael Keane throwing his arm out in a position where it is always going to be given. That penalty gets given 90% of the time in the Premier League. It gets given 110% of the time at Anfield in a Merseyside derby, without a shadow of a doubt. And you have to look at why we lost this game today. And yes, we can talk about the referee being blatantly biased and cheating. It's corruption, it's cheating. It won't be spoken about. TNT Sports won't be speaking about it now because they're shithouses. Sky won't be speaking about it on Monday because they're shithouses. It won't be all over the back pages of the news because they're shithouses. So it won't be spoken about. And we can talk about all of that. But the reality of the situation is the manager has once again made decisions in this game that have ultimately come back to haunt Everton. You know, having Ashley Young in there in the first place, you can talk to me all you like about how experienced he is and how the manager trusts him. He has been booked in the opening 15-20 minutes, I think, of his last 4 games for Everton. So why put him in there knowing full well, and Dyche knows full well, you don't get a decision at Anfield in a Merseyside derby. You don't get them. And then at half-time, when we're 10 men down, he brings on Michael Keane, who is always prone to a mistake. Always prone to a mistake. Why does he revert back to type? Why does he revert back to his friends that he knows and he thinks he can trust? Well, Dyche, you can't trust these people. And do you know what? I actually think... I don't think we performed too badly today. I know some people are saying we were never in the game, we never had control of the ball, etc., etc. It was a Merseyside derby at Anfield and we had 10 men wrongly from half an hour onwards. And it was wrongly, by the way, because the first one was never a yellow card. And it obviously wasn't a yellow card because Tsimikas didn't get booked 5 minutes later for it. But when you are a man down and you are away at Anfield and you know Liverpool are going to get every decision because they cried their asses out for weeks and weeks and weeks over a bad decision a couple of weeks ago, like babies. You know full well that nothing is going to go your way. So don't put a player on who is susceptible to making those kinds of mistakes. Don't put a player on who is susceptible to putting himself in a position where he can be exposed. Because the moment he has his arm out here, people can talk about it's close to him, so it shouldn't have been a penalty. You know, it was accidental, etc., etc. It's always getting given. It's always getting given. 110% of the time. It would not have been given at the other end. It wouldn't. And no Liverpool fan can tell me otherwise. If you are a Liverpool fan now and you are sitting there and you genuinely believe that that was a fair refereeing display, then you're a clueless bastard. You're an absolute clueless idiot. I don't care what anybody says. But again, we've lost the game. Yes, because we've been against 12 men. Of course we have. And if I'm Sean Dyche now, by the way, and I do blame Sean Dyche a bit for this because I think Sean Dyche could have come out of this game blameless. And yet, through his own decision-making, he hasn't come out of this game blameless. He's come out of this game with people saying, well, why was Young starting in the first place? Well, why was Michael Keane brought on at half-time? You know, okay, make a couple of changes because we've got 10 men, but why are you bringing Michael Keane on? So, in a game where most Evertonians are now going to sit back and rightfully so, have a go at the officials and have a go at the referee and have a go at, you know, the decisions that were made in the game, Dyche had an opportunity to give himself a platform where he could say, yeah, we were absolutely robbed today and, you know, we made a couple of mistakes. It is what it is. But the mistakes we made come from players that pretty much 90% of Evertonians have said for months shouldn't be playing for Everton Football Club. Shouldn't be in there. They're not good enough. They make mistakes. They're susceptible to yellow cards, etc., etc. That is where the real frustration comes out for me. Look, we were robbed today. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We weren't robbed for the result because the penalty is a penalty for me. The second goal, again, is a counter-attacking goal. But we were robbed because we weren't given a fair playing field. If you're going to send Ashley Young off, then you've got to send Tsimikas off in the first half. If you're going to send Ashley Young off, then to not send Kounate off is... I actually think Craig Pawson should be sacked and never referee a Premier League game again. He won't be. He'll be given a bonus of 50 grand and he'll be refereeing next weekend. Of course he will. But, you know, banter aside and laughing aside and ha ha ha, you's lost, we won. I honestly think, as I said, I don't think there'll be one red sat there now thinking, it was never a red card, what are you talking about? Even Jurgen Klopp shit himself and brought him straight off because he knew it should have been a sending off. And what'll happen now is none of those decisions will be spoken about. The goals will be spoken about as if they're the best team in the world, and they're not. That, you know, I thought Liverpool were pretty poor today. I thought it was a pretty poor game overall, to be honest with you. I thought Everton never really had control of it. I thought Liverpool were a little bit gutless. I thought their midfield was terrible. I thought our forward line were never in the game. But it'll be made out like they're the best team ever, they're the best team in the world, and it's great and whatever. I would really, really love to see Sean Dyche and Everton Football Club come out now, do what they did 3 weeks ago. Demand an apology. Demand an explanation. Demand to hear the audio from the Kounate situation. Demand it. Demand to hear the audio from the penalty, even though it probably was a penalty. Demand to hear the audio from it. Demand answers to why that game wasn't refereed fairly. And you know when you don't get them, say, well, we want a replay then. We want a replay. It's about time this football club started standing up for themselves in situations like this. I've got no problem with the penalty being given. I've got no problem with them scoring on the counter-attack. I've got no problem with us losing that game because the decisions that Sean Dyche made to put certain players in the team ultimately has come and bit us on the arse. But we were against 12 men from the off. We were against 12 men from the off. And how is that fair? How is that fair? There's examples, Tsimikas getting away with 4 challenges when Ashley Young gets sent off for 2 of the exact same tackle. Kounate not getting sent off for, you know, practically assault on the halfway line. What's the point? And this is what, you know, this is what just makes me think, what's the point in footy anymore? What's the point? You know, again, this Liverpool team see themselves challenging for a league this season. Well, you know why they see themselves challenging for the league? Because they know in games like that, they're going to get away with it. And they're going to be given every decision. And they're going to get things go their way when they shouldn't go their way. I don't know why there was a Liverpool fan moaning after the Spurs situation. I don't understand it. They were all fucking fuming. I was sitting there thinking, why are they fuming? They're going to get every fucking decision from now until the end of the season. They'll win games off of biased refereeing decisions because the PGMOL, otherwise known as the TWATS, are fucking terrified of them because they know they'll complain. Well, why can't we complain? Why can't we say, hang on a minute, mate. This is a fucking disgrace, this. This is a fucking disgrace. We won't. Because we're the nicey football club and we'll take it on the chin and we'll move forward. But again, I can't be arsed. I honestly cannot be arsed with it anymore. I can't be arsed. I'm not saying we'd have won that game had Kounate have been sent off. I'm not saying we wouldn't have lost. Do you know if we'd have lost that game? Do you know if Kounate had been sent off and then Michael Keane does what he does and then they get a goal on the counter-attack and we lose 2-0? I'd sit here and say we've lost because of our own individual mistakes. Like we do every year at Anfield, by the way. Liverpool, I can't remember the last time Liverpool performed particularly well against Everton. I can't. The last year at Anfield, we lost because of 2 individual mistakes. At Goodison, we lost 4-1. Every goal was a mistake. Every goal was handed to them. Today, both goals handed to them, mistakes. But that is blatant cheating. And I don't give a shit when anybody says it's blatant cheating. And if we are in a position now where referees and VAR can cheat that blatantly and we just have to sort of get on with it and say, oh, well, okay, sound, it is what it is, then what's the fucking point? What is the point? As I said, I don't think it was a particularly great game. I don't think Everton were brilliant. I think we battled. I think we fought. I think we tried hard. I think we put it about. I think we give them something to worry about and something to be a little bit cautious of. I think they did the same going forward. They always were a threat on the counter-attack defensively. As I said the other day, they're fucking horrendous defensively. They are. That's why they won't win the league, because they're horrendous defensively. But what the referee has done there is taken a fair game, which might still have ended with a Liverpool win. And as I said, I'd be sitting here saying, once again, our own mistakes have cost us, which they still have, by the way, and I still do partially blame Sean Dyche, because there's no scenario in this world where Michael Keane should be coming on a football pitch when we've already got 10 men. It's practically like having 9 men at that point. There's no scenario where he should be coming on the football pitch. There's no scenario where a 38-year-old Ashley Young, who's had 4 yellow cards in the first 10 minutes of his last 4 games, should be starting in a Merseyside derby when we know Craig Pawson, was being briefed to give Liverpool everything. We know that. So why are we starting a player that is susceptible to a silly decision? But at the end of the day, we're now left with the questions. What if Konate would have been sent off? It's 10v10. Maybe Klopp makes a defensive substitution. Maybe the game ends 0-0. Who knows? It might not. But the reality of the situation is we will never know. And listen, I don't care what anybody says. We've been due one of these. We've been due getting robbed at Anfield. The last few performances have been shite, and we've lost, and we've deserved to lose, but we've not really been done by a refereeing decision. We were done by a refereeing decision today, and it's, as I said, it's been coming, because being Everton getting robbed at Anfield is like, it's like me looking at the sea and saying, I wonder if that's wet. Well, obviously it's fucking wet. Well, obviously Everton are going to get robbed at Anfield. Of course they are. The difficult thing now for the manager is, well, it's going to be to put Nathan Patterson in at right back, because he clearly doesn't like Nathan Patterson. Well, he's got to now. He's got no choice. Ashley Young's suspended. But more importantly is to try and forget this game. And that's what I think is the best way to attack this now. As I said, if I'm Sean Dyche, I am screaming and shouting in that interview. In fact, I'm refusing to do an interview. Make a stand, say to TNT, get the fuck. I'm not even talking to you. Get the fuck. Refuse to do it. Come out in the papers the next day and say, explain to me this. Explain this to me. And then, in 2 days when you don't get an answer, come in the papers again. Come on, go to Joe Thomas at the Echo and get him to print a big page about the decisions. He will do it, because he's an honest fella and he's a good Evertonian. Them lot cry their eyes out when one bad decision goes their way, and then they get everything their way for months. Them, we just don't do that, and that's our fault. That's not their fault. They do it, and fair play to them. It works, as it's shown today. It works for them. We need to be a little bit more like that. But the important thing is, for me now, is that the manager picks these up, and tries to forget about this today, and tries to give them a little bit of confidence, and tries to give them a little bit of, I suppose, explanation about the situation, and why and which it happened and how it happened. But forget it. It's done now. Move on. We've got some really important games coming up, and some games that we've really got to win and get points in. I mean, Keith said, on a serious note, if it would have happened to my team, the referee was terrible. Konate should have got a red card. There you go. Most honest Reds will tell you the same thing. It was a blatant display of bias. What decision do you think was robbed? Jonathan says, Jonathan, if you don't think it was a second yellow card for Konate, then you may as well stop watching football, mate, because you've not got a clue. You've not got a clue. You may as well watch cricket or something, because you're wasting your time. But yeah, as I said, it's important now for Dyche to try and lift the spirits amongst the players, because the players will be down after that today, because it's a derby. They've lost, that the decisions that went against them. It's important now for the manager to try and lift the spirits, and to try and forget about this game, and move forward, and go from there in the next few games, because we absolutely need to do that. We can't ponder on this. We can't let this affect us too much. 3 wins out of 4 before today. Today, we may well have lost if Konate had been sent off through our own mistakes. But at least we've got, Dyche has got the perfect excuse. He can come there and say, we were robbed today, lads. We were absolutely robbed. It's a disgrace. We're going to complain about it. Don't worry too much about it. Get your heads up and go again. And hopefully we can just move on from it and forget about it now, because, yeah. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. Marty says you had 16% possession. What difference does it make? Do you win a game on possession, do you? Sound that, Marty. Is right, lad. Is right. That's how much you guys know about football, the Liverpool fans, saying you had 16% possession. Do you win a game on possession, do you, mate? Stop talking bollocks, lad. You're talking out your arse. And don't give me the, now you know how it feels to get screwed. Marty, you've had one bad decision go against you in the last 5 years, and you've had every other right decision go against you. You're full of shit, mate. You're talking shite. Anyway, yeah, we've just got to move on from it and look forward to the next game. But I'm sick. I'm sick to death of them. I'm sick to the back teeth of them. I'm sick of derbies. I'm sick of going to Anfield and getting robbed. You know, I just don't know how Craig Pawson looks at himself in the mirror at night. I just don't understand it. I don't know how he looks at himself and is proud of what he's doing. I don't get it. He's a fucking embarrassment and he's an absolute clown. It's as simple as that. But yeah, we'll move forward and hopefully we can pick ourselves up and you know, we've got West Ham away next, which will be a difficult game, of course, but definitely one that is winnable, and definitely one that if we put a similar performance into the one against Brentford, we can get something out of. I actually don't think we were terrible today. I just don't think it was a very good game of footy whatsoever. If you are enjoying, by the way, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. That would mean a huge amount to me. But yeah, like I said, I don't think we were awful. I just think the game wasn't particularly good. I don't think there was a lot of quality in the game. I thought Mikalenko was brilliant. I thought Mikalenko was fantastic. I thought Onana played really, really well. I thought James Garner was a bit absent. Thought Branthwaite and Tarkowski were really solid as well. But yeah, what can we do? We move on. As I said, getting robbed at Anfield is just another day in the week, and it happens all the time. So there you go. Let us know your thoughts. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like. 150 people watching, only 38 likes. If you could get the likes up, that'd be amazing. Don't forget to go and check out FanHub in the description down below. Give it a download, get your predictions in, and go and check in if you've not checked in already. If you went to the game, or even if you just watched the game at home, check in and you will earn points towards rewards. The top link in the description, the code is in there as well. Don't forget to go and check that out. Player ratings will be up in a minute, so look out for them. And yeah, cheers for watching. What's the point? See you after.